Hello, and welcome to Talk to Tony Wilson. My guest today is a revisiting guest. She is one that had a bout with COVID 19 earlier last year, and she's here today to just kind of talk about what all she's gone through and some of the things she's had to do during her recovery period. So, Melba, how are you doing today?
Today I'm tired, but I'm okay. I'm better than some days. So it's not my worst day. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
Not my
So
worst day.
last year, I remember you were telling me somewhere around in February, you started feeling ill. You went to the hospital a couple of times. Um, they gave you a diagnosis of pneumonia. And
Well, in February they said I had an upper respiratory infection.
mhm,
So I was put on antibiotics and something else. I don't remember the other pill. So I had two different prescriptions, and
uh-huh.
I started to feel better. Then in March, I started to feel bad again, and it continued. Feeling bad, feeling bad. I went to the doctor twice. The second doctor said I was taking the wrong medicine because I had high blood pressure. I had to take something different. And then I think it was the 30th or the 31st. I'm not even sure the date. I was admitted into Regional Memorial with COVID.
Mhm. Okay. Now, and before you went to the hospital, you said you were the primary caregiver for your father. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I took care of my dad before going into the hospital. My dad went into the hospital that Wednesday, I believe. It was either that Wednesday or the Thursday before I went in. I had went to the doctor that morning, so I didn't go see him. I just didn't feel well. So my brother called. They called the ambulance and admitted him. Then I went in that Monday morning. They admitted me, and my father was already in there.
Mhm.
Um, and shortly thereafter, my father passed away from COVID on the 4th of April.
Before your father passed away, he did have the diagnosis of COVID 19. Is that correct?
Not before he went to the hospital. Like, he had gone to the doctor that Monday, and they said he had flu-like symptoms,
Mm.
and they sent him home. They never tested him for COVID. By that Wednesday or that Thursday, he was just progressively worse. And when my brother called, I said, call the ambulance. I said, I'm not coming over. I don't feel well either. And so they admitted my father then. Um, we would check, call the hospital, and they told us he was doing okay or he wasn't.
Mhm.
By that Sunday, I was just so bad. I didn't never call the hospital. I just didn't feel good. I couldn't breathe.
Mhm.
Um, and that Monday morning, my boyfriend called the ambulance because I was like, I just can't do it. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And I went into the hospital. We were a couple of doors away from each other. But unbeknownst to me, they had put him on a ventilator, and I didn't know it
Oh, wow.
because I was feeling bad.
Mhm.
And he was put in ER during that time frame. And on the 4th, he passed. On
Mhm.
the 4th, I went into the same room he was in on a ventilator, and I was there for 13 days, I believe. 13 days I was on a ventilator. But I didn't
So,
find out my father had passed, and I had been off a ventilator for a week before I found out my father had passed because my family, my son didn't want me to know. He
okay.
wanted me to get well.
Okay. Because I was going to ask, did you realize you were going into the same room he was in at the
No,
time? Mhm. Didn't know. Okay. Because,
I didn't even realize I was going into. The last thing I remember is one of my girlfriends called and she was crying like, Melva, no, why do you sound like this? And I was like, I don't want to talk to her. She's making too much noise.
mhm.
So I hung up, and then I heard the nurse say she's going to ICU, but I didn't realize she was talking about me, and that's all I remember.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't remember. Um, my cousin says that they were turning me on a regular basis because they had to keep turning me, um, and they were getting updates, but I don't remember any of it.
Because you were actually, you said put into an induced coma. Is that correct?
Yes, I
Okay.
was on a ventilator. They said for 13 days, and
Mhm.
I don't remember anything.
Wow. Okay. So since coming off the ventilator, I believe you said you had to do some physical therapy, occupational
Yeah,
therapy. Did you had to do speech therapy also since?
I did 2 sessions of speech therapy, but I didn't start that initially. Initially, I couldn't really talk. I didn't start the speech therapy, I think, until about July, and I only did 2 sessions because I felt like I was okay. But my physical therapist wanted me to do everything to make sure I would get better.
Mhm.
So I did occupational therapy and physical therapy I started in soon as I came home from Sheltering Arms. So I'm going to say from May until November. No, I did occupational from May till October, and physical therapy ended the first week of December.
Okay. Now, is Sheltering Arms the name of the rehab center that you went to?
Yes, yeah, that was my rehab. Yeah.
How were you feeling, at the time, like I said, when you left the hospital and went to the rehab facility, how was your overall feeling? Did you hurt? Were you in pain? Any shortness of breath?
I was just weak. I had no strength. Like at physical therapy, I said, well, can I just get out of the bed?
Mhm.
And so my nurse at the time, he was like, sure, you want to try sitting in a chair? And no, that was at the hospital, actually. I said, yeah. So I stood up and I just fell down. My legs couldn't support me. So when they discharged me, I had to write my name. And I always thought I had a pretty decent handwriting, but it was just like scribbled. I was like, what? I said, I can't write. I can't write. And I was really upset. So when I got to Sheltering Arms, I had some great therapists. They were amazing. They did a lot for me. I was working on writing my name, but I was always tired, and I was having a lot of pain on my left side,
Mhm.
my hip, my thighs, my calf, my left shoulder. And I remember one night it was so bad, I was in there crying. I said, my bed is broke. My bed is broke. I was hurting so bad. And I was like, it's got to be the bed. The bed is broke. And they were like, well, no, if it's the bed, all of you were hurt, not just one side.
Mhm.
So that night they gave whatever they gave me, it knocked me out. I guess I was in so much pain and I was crying so hard it hurt so bad.
Wow.
But then when I got home, I got good therapists. My left side is still weak. They thought I had a stroke,
Mhm.
so I had to go to a neurosurgeon. I think is what she was. She was
Neurologist?
really she was good. She did a bunch of tests. I had an MRI, um, CAT scan, and some other stuff that they ran, but it didn't show I had a stroke because for whatever reason, my right eye would not open fully.
Mhm. So, since the hospital and the rehab, and you said you're getting some therapy at home, um, have you finished with your therapy services now, or have you
Yeah.
continued on, or where
I
are you?
have not gone back since December.
Okay.
I do try to do walking on my own. I bought a recumbent bike.
Mm.
Um, and some days I can do 10 minutes, but I have not gotten past 10 minutes yet.
Wow. So,
Um,
before your hospitalization, how were you physically? Were you able to walk without assistance?
so yeah, before COVID, like I had scheduled to go zip lining April 7th. So
Uh-huh.
I was going to zip line. I was turning 55. I was like, oh, I'm going to do something I've never done. I'm going to zip line. So
Wow.
I was very active, traveled a lot, did whatever I wanted. I had no limitations.
Mm.
You know, my biggest thing is I love to travel. I love going places, trying new restaurants, trying something different. So we were always on the go. You
Mhm.
know, I love museum tours and things of that nature. So nothing slowed me down. Now I have to really like life or death if I'm going to do this because I don't want to be tired later. I
Mhm.
don't want to be wore out later. Like I'm okay at this point, just laying in the bed, TV off, just quiet.
Mhm.
I'm tired. I don't want to entertain anything. But in the past, no, I was always gone.
Wow.
I was so excited. I'm going to zip line for the first time.
Mhm.
I had paid the tour fee, the whole 9 yards. And because of COVID and the world shut down, I had to cancel.
Mhm.
But I said, that's okay. I'm still going to find somewhere local and do it. But I just didn't get well.
Wow. So, you've gone back to work. Um, has your workload? I know you say you are your realtor and your
Property manager.
property manager. Uh-huh. So how's your workload there? Have you had to change how you do things because of your increased exhaustion, I guess you could say?
Yeah, I'm so far behind right now. I take a lot of breaks because I have to.
Mhm.
Um, and then when I came back to work, a lot of the process we had in the past have changed. So I had to learn the new processes. Because I work for government subsidized housing,
Mhm.
they've revamped their rules. In the past, we used to have to inspect a unit at least once a year. I no longer do it. My guys will go in if it's an emergency. A lot of things that we would normally, like, hey, let's change this, let's do this, let's make this better. We're not doing right now out of fear. And then when the guys go in, they have to wear gloves, they must wear a mask, a face shield, and the tenant must put on a mask while they're in the house. I have to keep the guys safe because, we work as a team, and then I don't need them to come back around me
Mhm.
carrying something, and I get sick again.
Mhm.
That's one of my biggest fear this whole time is that I get sick again.
So how do you feel about the COVID vaccines they have out now? You you feel like you are pro get the vaccine, or are you skeptical about getting it, or?
I'm skeptical. Sorry. I am skeptical, but I am going to get.
Okay. Can you repeat that? I think the camera still skipped a little bit.
Okay, I'm sorry. I said I am skeptical about getting it, but I'm going to get it. I am on the Henrico County's wait list.
Okay.
I just got an email the other day to update my information, and I did,
Mhm.
but I am going to get it.
Okay. Okay. Well, the people that are around you, let's say family or maybe coworkers, how are
Mhm.
they feeling towards COVID-19? Because I know there's still some people on this earth that still don't believe in COVID-19.
Yeah.
They don't believe in the vaccines. They don't believe it should distance or wear a mask. Um, what have you ran into, with other people?
Mostly my circle is they know the journey I've been on, and I have a very small circle. So
Mhm.
they know everything that I went through.
Mhm.
It's normally it's just me and my one coworker, and I have another guy that comes twice a week. I have two other guys that comes twice a week, but me and my one, he he comes down and do a wipe down, make sure my office is ready for me in the morning. He's willing, he's been my backbone coming back to work. He makes sure I'm okay. A couple of my other coworkers they've been right there on the spot, making sure I'm okay, making sure I'm not overdoing it or whatever. And they have my back and look out for me.
Mhm. Well, that's good. That's fantastic. Now,
Yeah,
in the earlier video, you had mentioned that you were the only one that could pick your vegetables.
yeah.
So, how is grocery shopping for you now? Are you a little more comfortable with going out, grocery shopping or clothing shopping or whatever it may be?
Yeah, I am. I will. Nobody else can still do my vegetables but me. I still feel like I gotta. So I still go get vegetables. But it takes me a while because sometimes I'll be tired. So I'll
Okay.
just get what I need at that moment and leave.
Mhm.
I don't think I've been able to complete a full like 2 weeks grocery shopping trip yet.
Okay.
Like buying everything. Cause on a whole, I don't go to the store a lot. I just get what I need and I come out.
Okay.
But I just have been tired. So I don't do it.
Well, your son was in the military and he was trying to help make some of the um, decisions for you while you were in the hospital. How's he doing now? And I'm
He's
sure he's happy that
gotten
you're
out of the
doing
military and he is home with me. He he helps me walk. He makes sure I exercise. He he's like the boss right now on whether on my eating, my exercising, my movement. So yeah, he's on top of everything for me right now.
That's
He's
good.
been a true blessing.
That's good. I know you're I know you appreciate how well you raised him now that he's having to be
Yeah.
a boss for you.
Yeah, he's been a blessing. So I'm not complaining except for when he thinks I could walk further than what I feel like that day.
Uh-huh. Well, that's good. That is good. So, is there anything that you would like to share with us now that, like I said, it's been close to a year since you come in contact with COVID, and it sounds like you're still recovering some because you're saying you still get exhausted. But is there anything you'd like to share with us now that you've gone through that journey and, like I said, it's been about a year and you're still in that recovery mode?
The biggest thing for me right now is the muscle aches, the brain fog, and the exhaustion. The exhaustion I think will probably be top of my recovery right now. I want to be able to, like I want to be able to go to the grocery store, walk through the whole and get everything at one time and go home and put it up and not have to go lay right down. Um, I can almost bear through the pain. It's the exhaustion. But
Mhm.
if people would just understand that this is real, it's not going away, that this is going to be crippling for a lot of people, not just those that go through it, but like those that lose their family members. Some people are losing their family provider. And the person that provided for the whole family has gone. And you got some people that have lost their sense of taste and smell from a year ago and still have not gotten it back. And it's real. And the fact that the people that don't believe it's real is ridiculous to me. I don't know of anyone in my circle who has not been touched by this virus. My aunt just got out of the hospital in January. She had it. My other aunt that lives with her had it, and my cousin that lives there. They all had it. They all lived in the same household. We never know where you're going to get it from. And you can do everything you can to protect yourself. But if other people don't protect themselves, they can just keep passing it on. In Colorado, there was a super spreader event this past weekend with a bunch of college kids. They're the worst right now for not realizing that this is real and it's deadly. I'm hoping the virus, when I get the vaccination, that it prevents me or anyone of my loved ones from having to go through it anymore. My aunt and uncles have all had their second one, which I'm grateful for because I don't have that many left. So you want to hold on to those you love. So I would tell anybody, definitely put your mask on, wear some gloves, use hand sanitizers, wash your hands. And if you don't have to, don't go out.
Okay. All right. Well, that is Melba. Like I said, it's been close to a year
Yeah.
since her bout and her struggles through COVID-19, and she's still trying to recover from it. So, y'all, I'm gonna agree with what she's saying. If you still don't have to get out, even though some of the states are opening it up, that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you have to go out there and get in the mix. That virus is still out there. It hasn't gone anywhere. Please, so keep your distance, wear your mask, do some hand cleaning often, very frequently. And if you're able to, please go get your vaccine. If you have some question about your vaccines, please ask your provider, your medical provider about it. And just get some more clarity on whether that vaccine is going to be good for you. Because, like I say, we want to be around and we want to be healthy so we can safely visit with our family members. So, like I say, y'all, please listen to what Melba is saying. She's gone through this battle, she's gone through this struggle, and she's still struggling with it. Okay, so take it from her. Take her advice. All right. So, Melba, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just be safe, everybody. Just be safe.
All right. Well, this is going to end another talk to Tony Wilson. So, to all, I will say, have a great day.
Have a good one.